Hello and welcome to Post Perspective TV. I'm Dana McCallum, and we're doing IBC TV season once again. It looks like our friends at IBC are going to pull off an in-person show, but my guest today and I could not make it to Amsterdam. So we're going to talk to you this way and pretend that we're having a good time at the Rye. Very happy to have with us today our friend Matt Allard from Dell. Welcome, Matt.
Oh, thanks, Dana. It's great to be here. I do wish I was in Amsterdam. We had been planning an in-person presence, but the greater minds prevailed in terms of Dell's presence anyway.
Well, safety first, and fingers crossed, September 2022, we'll do this differently.
Yes, indeed.
And as we dive into the subject today, I think different people think different ways, but I know when the name Dell comes up, certainly workstations is front of mind. But Dell Technologies has several different divisions. It might be interesting to talk a little bit about how the workstation and the precision team interact. So let's start with the storage team, shared storage and supporting 8K. How are you working with the storage team?
It's a great question. I think this is part of Dell's strength with customers, is that we can bring the kind of overall infrastructure our post-production and VFX customers need in their environment. And that's, I think, one of the strengths of the Dell offering. And part of that is working with PowerScale. Some people, you remember that as Isilon, but now PowerScale storage. Yeah, now PowerScale. And it's been very central for collaborative post workflows where you've got, an editorial team working on a production. And mostly, I think when people think about that kind of collaborative storage, they're not thinking about 8K. The idea is that you got to have high performance media, and it's got to be somewhere else on a local storage of some sort. What's really cool is we've been working with the PowerScale team to deliver high resolution and not shared, be very clear. At 8K, you're not really sharing media, but high resolution using a protocol over Ethernet called RDMA. And RDMA is more efficient than the TCP that a lot of people know. That's the kind of language or the structure. And so by having a more efficient protocol, it frees the workstation to do more, to action. So we can now play at higher frame rates at 8K or even higher frame rates at 4K with a variety of the software tools that we've tested, things like Autodesk Flame and Resolve, Premiere and the like. So it's really cool. I'll just, one heads up about this and why the workstations matter is you got to have the right network card in the workstation. So RDMA is a protocol that sits in the network card, and so that tends to be Mellanox cards, now from NVIDIA, or Atto cards as well. One of the really cool things about this RDMA connection and setup with the Atto cards is there's a little utility that the Atto guys have built called Atto 360, I think, and it has an automated setup for this 8K RDMA setup. So it makes it easy as well. So, we're doing a lot to try to build an overall solution. So, if you're running a facility and you want all of your data, whether it's offline resolution all the way up to 8K, secure in your data center, we could do that with PowerScale and with the Precisions playing the role of, editorial, work, offline, if you will, all the way up to color grading at full resolution.
And for anybody who doesn't know, RDMA stands for?
I don't know. I just know the acronym. That's a great question. You tested me on acronyms. I have no idea.
We will look this up and we'll put it in a lower third.
Put it in a lower third. Duh, man, it's this. Yeah.
And also, to cover all the fronts, a lot of people need monitors, especially in their bays and their larger workstations. And I know that you've been working very closely, especially to support HDR workflows. I want to talk a little bit about the internal collaboration there.
Yeah, so obviously when you start looking at our desktop machines, particularly, the monitor is really critical, especially in these kind of visual workflows. we have released a really cool high dynamic range monitor. It's a 1000 nit brightness monitor. It's rated as an HDR 1000 as a result. And it's really great for folks that are doing editorial and want a timeline that can show their HDR image as it should. And I think you're probably aware of it. I'm sure some of our customers that are IBC are aware, but the software tools are rapidly improving. So your window within your editor can actually show HDR without blowing out the rest of the UI that you're working in. And that's a big improvement. And so having an HDR monitor means you don't have to buy a $30,000, HDR monitor to edit in HDR or, be able to view your HDR in its format. And so this new monitor, it's the UP3221Q, is a
It
32.
rolls right off the tongue.
That I can remember. I don't know what it stands for, but I can remember it. So that monitor, 32-inch, it's Thunderbolt connected or USB-C connected, and 4K resolution. But the HDR makes it really interesting. And if you look at some of the applications that are out there, things like Adobe Premiere, Foundry's Nuke, Flame, all of them can actually not only use that monitor with the UI looking right, but they can flip it into full screen. And so then you have full screen and you can actually see your HDR content. We are working on a pretty interesting production now where it's actually editorial or offline, but they're doing UI on one of these monitors and full output on the other, with any additional hardware, which is kind of the way to keep things light and efficient off of the workstation. So I think with the expansion of HDR production, especially with the big over-the-top players like Netflix and Amazon Prime asking for HDR content and making that part of their premium subscription, we see the demand increasing. And we like the fact that we can help our customers play in that role without having to, mortgage their house to get a monitor to do it. So.
Excellent. And then looking a little bit to your external partners, do you want to talk? I know that Dell has been working very closely with NVIDIA to support their Omniverse solution. Do you want to share? Just a real quick overview of Omniverse, just the thumbnail version for folks who might not know, and then how the Precision Workstations are supporting it, and what users need to know and what they need to have.
Sure. Yeah. So NVIDIA Omniverse Enterprise was actually just released by NVIDIA recently, and that is a commercial software offering that really aims at enabling collaboration in these complex visualization workflows. And so, particularly when you think about VFX, where you've got lots of different people, lots of different software tools being used, being able to combine that result and kind of have one point of truth in what's going on with this shot is really the central role that NVIDIA Omniverse Enterprise has. Now, Dell's interest here is that we have, for a very long time, helped our customers with collaborative infrastructure. Like we know just all the PowerScale stuff that we've done, it really goes to this idea that, making movies, making television, making games is a collaborative process at its heart. And having an infrastructure to support that's, a big part of what Dell has done over its 25 years in the workstation business. The idea is that Omniverse is another tool in that kit to help collaboration work better. And so we're really interested in making sure we have qualified systems that it can run on. And two, we're actually going to sell it. We're actually going to be one of the folks that resells Omniverse to our customers because we think it does bring plenty of extra value to the customers in the form of improving collaboration.
Well, thank you, Matt, for that overview of what Dell and all its different divisions are up to, and how you're working with our friends at NVIDIA as well.
Yes.
Fingers crossed that next time we do this, that we'll be together, maybe NAB in April. We'll see.
I hope so. We're planning to be there. So let's all hope that things continue to improve and that we can be face to face again.
Look forward to it. And in the meantime, that's us signing off from Post Perspective TV. Thanks for watching.